couple things to note before we get started. When I did this process on both the key fobs for our 2019 Subaru, I found that immediately after reconnecting the two halves of the fob case with the new battery, the panic alarm would go off. And it's possible that I simply depressed the button accidentally, but what I believe was happening is that the fob may have been interacting and repairing with the vehicle. I say that because there was a red blinking light and it was difficult to disarm the alarm without using the other fob's unlock button to quiet the horn. In the end, it all worked out and all fobs function as they should. Just something to note, it may happen to you and it may mean you want to do this outside the range of the vehicle if you're trying to do this at night or in a quiet location. Today we're going to replace the battery for a Subaru key fob. This comes off a 2019 Subaru Crosstrek, though you may find that you have a different model or model year with a similar key fob. You can do this without tools. I've chosen to use a small flathead screwdriver along with a small pick in order to do fine operations with less chance of damaging the key fob. However, like I said, you can use this with nothing but the key that's inside the key fob. So flip it over to the back. You'll see this little silver tab that needs to be depressed. You can do that with your fingers, better with two hands, and pull out the key at the bottom of the fob. This is where you can use the key fob and the key itself to separate the two halves, or what I found is more helpful is a fine screwdriver. What you're looking to do, get your key fob in the light, and you'll see there's a few different slots, and obviously the key came out of that first slot. The second slot is where you can insert your screwdriver and start to separate the key fob. So once you have the two halves beginning to separate, carefully take this apart. This particular key fob uses a 2032 battery, which I found locally, but I've also linked an option for you below. Once you have the two halves apart, you'll be able to remove the internals of the key fob. And here you want to be fairly careful because there's a circuit board on the back side. You don't want to bend that or do anything that would create a problem. So if you didn't have any tools, you could start using the key, but I like to be a little more gentle and use a pick here in order to get the battery up and out without bending any of the internals of the fob. All right, now that we've got the battery free, we'll take a new battery, slide it in. Here you gently push down, making sure everything's lined up, positive side out. To reinsert the internal components into the front case of the key fob, it's possible that you disrupted the buttons on the front face of the key fob, which sit below this rubber insert. There's one series of buttons for lock, unlock, and trunk, and then there's a second button, which is this shiny one you see here for the panic alarm. Be careful as you reinsert the internals that things are well lined up. Should sit in there only one direction as the shape will dictate. Remember, the battery should be down close to the bottom of the fob. Once you have that ready, all you need to do is line up the two halves again. Push down, make contact, and you're good to go. Don't forget to reinsert the key into the fob, and you're good as new.